A Gift from the Heart, Alex Eala, prize for Rafael Nadal's newborn son, leaves a lasting impression. The tennis world woke up to a soft, tender story, one that had nothing to do with trophies, rankings, or rivalries. At exactly 9:11 a.m., a photo quietly surfaced on Rafael Nadal's official Instagram account. It showed a small, handcrafted wooden box beside a baby, blanket embroidered with the words from "You're 8, Alex. May your first steps echo across the clay." In the caption, the doll simply wrote, "Some gifts go beyond the sport. Thank you at Alexa. Yellow heart." Within hours, the image became one of the most shared posts in tennis history. It wasn't a brand, campaign, or a PR stunt. It was something deeper, an emotional, genuine exchange between a protege and her mentor, a bond forged in Mallorca. To understand why that little box mattered so much, you have to go back a few years to Rafael Nadal Academy in Manicure, Mallorca. It was there that a young Alexander Eala, barely 13, arrived from the Philippines with wide eyes and a bigger dream. Nadal, already a global icon, noticed her early dedication. She wasn't the loudest or the strongest, but she was focused, hungry. She reminded me of myself at that age. Nadal once said in an interview, quiet but burning inside. Under his mentorship, Eala flourished. She became the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam doubles title, then climbed to the ranks with poise that mirrored Nadal's humility and tenacity. Their connection went beyond the baseline. For Eala, Nadal wasn't just a tennis legend. He was a moral compass, a living example of what it means to blend greatness with grace. The news that moved her when news broke in late 2022 that Rafael Nadal and his wife Mary PL had welcomed their first child, a baby boy. The global tennis community rejoiced. For Eala, the joy was personal. She told friends of the academy, "He's done so much for all of us here. I want to do something special, something that feels like me." But Alex wasn't interested in expensive gifts or lavish gestures. She wanted something heartfelt, something symbolic of what Nadal had given her: belief, patience, and purpose. That thought lingered for months. The handcrafted idea. Eala reached out to a family friend in Manila. An artisan would carve her from Pampanga, known for making intricate boxes with native Cape shell inlays. She explained what she wanted: a keepsake box, small enough for a nursery, timeless enough for memory. Inside, she planned to place 3 simple items: a tiny clay ball molded from red earth, near Court 5 in the Nadal Academy where she trained for years; a short, handwritten note folded neatly in gold paper; a baby's eyes tennis wristband, embroidered with the initials RN Jr., and a Philippine sun beside it. It was, as one friend described, the most Alex Eala gift imaginable: humble, symbolic, full of feeling. The note, her note to Nadal's son, was short but poignant. It read, "Dear Rafael Jr., you don't know me yet, but I've seen your father teach me patience, grace, and gratitude every single day. Someday, if you ever pick up a racket, remember it's not about winning. It's about staying kind, even when the world isn't. From your 8, Alex, cheering for you from every corner of the world." She sealed it with wax and tucked it into the box. The delivery, when Eala returned to Mallorca for training ahead of the clay season, she carried the wooden box in her backpack. Her coaches said she was unusually quiet that week, focused, yes, but thoughtful. After one morning session, she approached Nadal, who was recovering from his hip surgery, but still visiting the courts daily. Witnesses recall her walking up shyly, box in hand, before saying softly, "For your son from the Academy's daughter. Nadal visibly. Touch places hand on her shoulder. You didn't have to, he said. I wanted to, she replied. He didn't open it then. He just smiled. But a few days later, when he posted that photo, the world finally saw it. The emotional ripple. The image resonated far beyond the tennis community. Sports outlets from ESPN till Pace ran stories about the touching exchange. Fans wrote comments like, that's why Rafa's Academy produces champions of heart, not just skill. Alex Eala is the embodiment of everything beautiful about sport. Back in the Philippines, her act became national news, morning talk shows, replayed image with pride, calling a gesture that speaks louder than trophies. The mentor's response. 2 days later, Nadal invited Eala and her family for lunch at his home in Mallorca. According to reports from Mara, he told her, you gave my family something that can't be bought memory. When my son grows up, I'll tell him this came from someone who worked harder than anyone I've ever seen. Eala reportedly smiled, trying not to cry. You taught me how. She whispered. They took no selfies. No, cameras were present. It was a private, human moment between two souls bound by sport, respect, and gratitude. A father's reflection. Weeks later, during a press conference, Nadal was asked about the gift. He laughed gently before answering. It was a very special surprise. Alex is not just talented. She's pure-hearted. My wife was very emotional when she saw the note. It reminded us that our son will grow up surrounded by kindness from people we've been lucky to meet. Then, turning serious, he added, it shows how the Academy spirit lives on, not through victories, but through values. That one sentence would later become the headline for El Mundo Deportivo. Not victories, but values. Nadal's legacy lives. Through ELA, the world takes notice. The gesture became a global talking point. WTA posted a tribute reel of Ella's time at Nadal Academy. Slow-mo shots of her, training, laughing, studying, and greeting Nadal. The reel ended with a caption, the lesson that endures. By late 2025, Eala had broken into the WTA top 50, a historic milestone for her country. Yet, in every press interview, the story of the wooden box remained. What fans asked about most, she always answered the same way. It was just a gift, but it reminded me that tennis isn't about who hits harder. It's about who feels deeper. That line would later be quoted across sports columns, etched into motivational posters, and even printed on banners during her matches. The circle comes full when Nadal returned briefly to exhibition play in 2025. Eala was invited to practice with him again. As they warmed up under the warming sun, she teased him. So how's your doubles partner doing? He grinned, sleeping through my matches. But one day, he'll learn. Then he paused. And when he does, I'll tell him, you were par why he loves a game. They both smiled. No cameras, no microphones, just two players, 2 generations, and one shared legacy of heart. The gift that keeps giving. Years from now, Nadal's son will grow up. Maybe he'll play tennis. Maybe he won't. But somewhere in that wooden box, beside his baby photos and first shoes, lies a clay ball from Mallorca, a letter written by a young woman who once dreamed on the same sun, and a symbol of everything his father stood for. And when he opens it one day, he'll read, be kind, even when the world isn't. He may not remember the day it was given, but he'll feel its meaning because gifts like that don't fade. They live quietly, eternally in the hearts they touch. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next